Hello everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. So last time we did a double landing on the moon to give us our docking mission on the moon as well. Brought back a load of science. Let's just check in with our missions. So the one that we have left over from last time is we didn't get this small hardpoint because we kind of bugged out with that. Our next main mission is to dock 2 vessels in or around Minmus, on around Minmus. So we'll pick that one up. Okay, so we are going to go back to Minmus, and we're going to do this with 2 launches again so we can do the docking mission. These are not going to be symmetric launches. We're going to be launching 2 very different things that are just going to happen to meet each other. So the easiest launch is going to be for this one. Position a satellite in geosynchronous orbit of Kerbin. So we just need to send out a probe. It needs to have a magnetometer boom, an accelerometer, and just needs to maintain stability. Gives us 250 grand. And we want another satellite out in about geostationary orbit anyway in order to give us our comm network. And so we can just piggyback all of that and just put on a docking module, and this can dock to our other side. But for the other side, the big thing we're going to be trying to do is building a new surface outpost on Minmus. So this needs to have 12 Kerbals being supported, including the mobile processing lab. It needs to have 2 scientists on the outpost. It needs to have an antenna, a docking port, and generate power. And it needs to be landed on Minmus. And as a kind of a little bonus, I'm also going to try and get this one. The rover arms. We need to scan a olivine formation. Not sure what one of those is, but we can build a little rover out there and go scanning. The nice little cheeky one, we'll get it on the way. Scientific data from space around Kerbin. And just to make some things a bit easier, I'm going to upgrade our tracking station. This gives us the new maneuver tool, which I want to play around with, mostly while I'm doing this upgrade. We've got nearly 3 million, so we can easily afford it. Also just going to buy the vehicle assembly building upgrades, that's maxed out. Then let's spend some science. So we've got enough for 4 of these upgrades. Okay, so to help with the rover arm one, I'm just going to get field science so we can get at some actual rover pieces. So I'm going to grab the scanning tech one, give us some more things that we can start to deploy. Get the enhanced high power electronics. I'm going to go for composite. It gives us the inline docking port, which might be kind of useful. Gives us the massive fairing and some other random structural parts. So first off, let's look at our unmanned section of this, the probe that we're putting out there. So jumping in here with the Azrios, and we're going to completely redesign the Azrios' actual space stage. So here we go, the new and improved Azrios actual space stage. It's a fair bit bigger than the previous design, but it's got what it needs. It's got the accelerometer is hidden away inside, along with a new fancy probe core so I can actually control the damn thing. Got a very big relay antenna, mostly for setting up that communication ongoing. Got the magnetometer booms, got 2 really big solar panels and some backup solar panels for when they're not deployed. And we've got this inline docking port so we can dock to the other part of the module. Okay, but the actual launch stage of the Azrios is still absolutely fine, so we don't need to make any adjustments there. Staging looks good, so I'm going to launch this thing and kick it out towards Minmus. Okay, the geostationary orbit's actually a lot lower than I thought. It's this one here. That's still absolutely fine, so I'll put this into this orbit, and then afterwards we can go over to Minmus. It's no problem, just slightly different order. Anyway, let's launch this thing. This time I do actually have SAS on this launch, so it should be a lot easier. I hope. First stage. Alright, can get rid of fairing. That wants it to come off. Slightly awkward. I need to disable the clamshell fairing. That's just really messed up there. There it goes. Can extend our solar panels. We're almost into orbit on that stage, not quite. That's fine, it's got more than enough in this stage. There we go, nice and circular. Okay, now just to try and match the contracted orbit. There we go, after some faffing, matched it, so now I just have to maintain stability. And there we go, mission complete. Over here, can also extend the magnetometer beam and transmit that. So I'll complete another mission. Okay, so just got it to auto-compute a trajectory, so let's see if that is going to work. Oops. Okay, so it's doing it on a best case scenario one instead of just as soon as it can. Okay, I don't have much fuel to play around with, so I'm going to try and put this into an orbit. Problem is we used a lot of fuel making this little circular orbit here for the mission, so I may have to launch another probe after this instead. Okay, so we don't quite have enough delta V to stop us on the rockets, but we do have RCS, so this may be a job for rockets and RCS. I'm just going to see what kind of orbit I can get this into. Because we're only a few delta V shy, so let's hope. Okay, right, let's see how we do. Full braking burn until that's exhausted. And just see if we can RCS our way the rest of the way. There we go. It was a bit of a painful burn, but we did it. Still got loads of monopropellant. Unfortunately, I just put the little RCS thrusters on because I wasn't planning on making a braking maneuver using RCS thrusters, but here we are. That is nicely in orbit of Minmus, so now we just need to send the other thing up to dock with it. So I'm going to see if I can base the base on the Kenny. Okay, so we need the mobile processing lab as one of the big things. Okay, so to fulfill the requirements, I've put together a frankly ludicrous design. This section here is being left behind. That fulfills all the requirements that we need. So we've got enough for 12 Kerbals. We'll just put 2 scientists on the mission. We've got the mobile processing lab. And this is the return stage up here. So we've got a little bit that comes back. Since I'm not leaving them all there, got a bit that stays down there. And I'm going to put parts in there so we can build a little rover when we get there. Okay, it should be enough parts to put together a rover. Okay, and we were massively overkilling it on delta V before, so hopefully we've got enough delta V now. Oh, looks like it. So we're going to be leaving 2 scientists there. I just want to pick up 1 extra scientist. Let's go for Ted in here. He can come on the mission, but he can come back. I'm also going to be leaving a permanent engineer there, so same thing. Going to grab another engineer. New engineers are going to land and come back, so they get some skills. The ones that are staying there are going to leave 2 scientists and an engineer. They are going to be in charge of the new base. Okay, so congratulations, Carrie and Meldon, along with Chaffdal. You are the new crew of our first Minmus base. Okay, Kazu will be flying it. These are a couple of last minute adjustments that I've just thought of. Put in the little science collection unit, which makes gathering all the science easier. Also sticking a communication thing in our hitchhiker's storage so we can give the solar base here a proper long-term communication setup. Also just chucking in some RCS and monopropellant for the little lunar lander, or Minmus lander, the little rover to go around, because in the past I've noticed that on Minmus gears don't work, wheels don't work so well. As I think that's everything that I needed to do. Otherwise, same crew as we just picked. Okay, otherwise I think that should all be set, so let's do our best. We made it to first stage. No issues there. Yeah, we're out in the atmosphere. Stage. Light the second engine. And ditch the fairing. I'm trying to burn straight from Minmus intercept. So we're already orbits in orbit. Let's switch them to this stage. Go. 100 meter per second correction orbit should get us an encounter. A bit of fiddling. I've got a maneuver that's going to put us within 8 kilometers of the Azrios, and that with only 20 meter per second burn since we're doing it so early. Right, executed at 25 kilometers separation, still really quite good. Okay, we're approaching the Azrios now. We just need to kill our relative velocity, which will also circularize us. Okay, interceptor's now within 15 meters of the Azrios, and just over 10 minutes. Okay, now it's stopped, or pretty much stopped. Yeah, just to try and get these two comically mismatched things to align. Disable RCS, and locked on. Nice, that is another mission complete. We have docked. I'm going to see if I can do a bit of a fuel transfer just so we can move the probe if we need to. 800 should be well more than enough to land on the planet and get us out of here, so that just gives us some options going forward. Now to just pop back to the Space Center to see if there are any other missions that we could just pick up cheekily to do here, but the next main story mission is to do a flyby of Eve, so be something very different for next time. Okay, so this is what I was looking for, was where the Olvine formations are going to be found. Midlands, poles, or lowlands. We've already landed in the lowlands, we've not landed in the poles, and we're in a nice polar orbit, so let's aim for the poles. First things first, let's decouple from satellite. Just RCS boost away so we don't damage it. And then begin our very gradual braking maneuver. I can't remember if we did magnetometer high, so let's just run that. No, apparently not. So what we can do is stick some of that in the lab, then rerun the experiment and keep it. Also get some other reports here that we can just stick in the lab for processing. And we can just nip outside with a scientist to reset the experiments I just did. Since we're only getting them so we could stick them in our processing lab, since the processing labs have an independent science things, they just work away and generate science, irrespective of whether you've got it there before. There we go. So those two reset. Didn't actually realise that was a thing. I misread a button and pushed level up on crew, and now loads of the ones that we took along with us have leveled up because I've got enough experience now, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, now I can get the magnet meter near Kerbin, or near Minmus. Dump the first lot in the processing lab, and then repeat the experiment to take the rest back home. Gonna pop out with a scientist here. Yeah, apparently we're over the lowlands here, not over the poles, which is a bit surprising, but okay. Okay, now we're over the pole. So, emergency quick brake then. Going to deploy my gears before I forget. Since I did deploy all the ladders. I overshot that a bit. Okay, we're now falling more or less straight down. I'm going to check we're still over the poles. Yep. I really should have designed this to have the science being left behind. Maybe some EVA mixing around after I've collected the science to actually leave science modules behind. So we're going to fill the lab with data, more data than it can handle. Yeah, touchdown and stabilized. There we go. That's our mission complete. So it's time to collect some science. Okay, the lab is now full of science. Send a scientist out to reset some of these. Store that one at least. Seismic data. Free report from here. I'm going to collect everything to the pod. One of our crewmen aboard the actual station, which has its doors on the wrong side, but hopefully it'll be fine. They can be the first one to disembark. I forgot to put a science kit in the actual science station that we're leaving behind, so I have to go grab one from the top pod. EVA report, surface sample, and EVA science. Oh yeah, so I keep forgetting the EVA science is only one per planet, one per biome. And it's our engineers to okay, I just managed to destroy the rover by trying to turn it. That's a wee bit embarrassing. So much for the idea of building a rover here. Yeah, I can equip a communicatron thingy. Just don't think there's any way of salvaging the design without a base. So I can't strap gears onto a battery. Oh, that's all rather unfortunate that while rotating a piece you can smash it into the ground, but hey ho. Bright side, the ladder system does work in this case. We are going to move some science things around. Just a whack of all of these on the Unix, then I can collect more science, put it in the processing bay. There we go. To move some stuff around. Science Junior is now outside. Gee, I have a terrible idea. So my idea is I can use this as the base. The problem is I need something to rest the base on to get it working. Can I try grabbing one of these? I successfully launched a Science Junior up into the sky. That's something. Okay, I've started to actually assemble this damn thing. Okay. I may have assembled a rover. salvage that by using the Science Junior as its core. It's being left on the planet anyway, so it didn't hurt. A lot of fiddling, I've managed to get this vaguely on. Okay, so then I need to find one of these thingy rocks. Now I think there's one over there, so I'm going to try heading in that direction. Okay, problem is this really just wants to fall over. Fair enough. Could have definitely used a reaction wheel. Okay, so the trick is not to accelerate too much because the grip is trying to make this thing roll over. Mix it being horribly top heavy and the planet being so light. So low gravity even. But otherwise, this insane design is actually working. Already covered half a kilometre. I hope this crazy thing is an olivine formation. Okay, now we can scan that formation. Nice. And we just need to transmit that, which we will be able to do once we are back. And braking maneuver. Ta-da! Which you can take data, and we can transmit that. That completes that mission. Perfect. Managed to salvage it. Then I can place the seismic science down, plant the flag while I'm at it. Shift all can push that aside and hopefully get on the ladder. Here's the engineer, so you can live in the little habitation-y bit. Gary, meanwhile, can put down the second science unit. There we go, it's generating half a science an hour. Carrie can board the science module. They can start their science. So they are creating 11 science a day. Periodically transmit that. Otherwise, we are all done here. Okay, so can shut down that engine. So we'll just be taking this engine with us. I want to make sure we're controlling from the docking port. What's going on? Okay, it's going to take off, try and put us in a little bit of an orbit. We've got plenty of fuel, so we don't have to do anything efficiently. And yeah, let's do it. That failed to ignite. There we go. Way we didn't topple the lander. I've actually burned a bit too much. Put us on a curb and escape course there. So lay down circularization maneuver. Retract our little antenna, which may well burn off. We'll just have to see. There's a tool on the re-entry there. And nice gentle landing. Very nice. 900 science, plus other science we've been getting and transmitting. A couple of our crew leveled up. 2 new ones are now level 2. So we got the geosynchronous orbit mission, 200 grand. Little scientific data mission. Getting science being transmitted from all of our surface stations. That counted as our first station around Minmus and our first docking. Got the reward for that surface outpost there, which we have left behind. Nearly 400,000. Another 45,000 for the rover. I'm getting quite a bit of passive science being sent through. Just went back to this. Oh, okay. Just went back to the stage we left behind. We tipped it enough during the decoupling that it was slowly falling over, so as soon as I went back, it just tipped over. Okay. But nothing's broken. It is managing to stay supported on the solar panels. Hooray for very, very low gravity. Not sure if I can actually rename this because it doesn't actually have a control core on it. I also don't seem to be able to select it to transmit science. Yeah, I think because it's not got any kind of control core, I think this is actually a dead unit. Good to know. Well, we can fix that in a future mission. And that future mission is looking to be a pretty big one, considering we've got our first mission to go to another planet. But that'll have to wait till next time. If you enjoyed that, please do leave a like and or a comment. It really does help the series. And otherwise, I hope to catch you in the next one. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and everyone else. Cheers.